Hello friends, welcome to Let's Crack UPSC CSE English. This is me, Dr. Sidharth Arora. And friends, today's video is very crucial for those friends of ours who are taking this big challenge called a civil service examination, but they are not sitting there at home or in college or while taking a break in Delhi or Karol Bagh or Rajendra Nagar, and they don't have 24 hours at their disposal, since they are, what I am saying, are working professionals, right? So have a job, you have a job to look after, you have a family to look after, and still there is a dream in your eyes that you want to make something really huge in your life. You want to become a civil servant, you want to become a bureaucrat, you want to reach Masuri. This is a huge dream. First of all, accept my congratulations to all of you. Second, it is very important that you will not be following the same strategy of passing this exam or trying to give yourself a realistic chance of passing this exam unless and until you change this method in comparison to a college going student, in comparison to a student who is already a graduate but not yet working. You are going to make the biggest mistake in your life. You will have to change the strategy. Why? Because your challenges are different. So in this video, I'm about to tell you and about to share with you certain time-tested strategies which many of our friends, many of our aspirant friends have taken and have successfully implemented and made their dream into a reality. So while they were working, while they were doing their job, while they were working professionals, they managed enough number of hours to do this preparation in a nice way so that they could ensure them having passed this exam. And make no mistake about it, my friends, there are many of our aspirant friends who are toppers, who have topped this exam while they were working. I am not saying that this is the only way. There are multiple ways, there are various different strategies, but amongst those various strategies, I am bringing for you some time-tested strategies which will help you ensure that you get the best potential, best out of your potential. So watch this video very carefully and make a mental note of each of these. It will do you wonders for your examination. Now, this is about me, Dr. Sidharth Arora. I'm sure that you know me. We met quite a few times. I also want to come across to all of you and to ensure that you follow what I am trying to tell you. My friends, civil services examination is not an exam in which you should venture out alone. Yes, it's like a forest, it's like a jungle. When you go into this jungle, in the initial few steps, everything is hunky-dory, everything is beautiful, but then you see many turns. Then you see many risks and dangers which you are not very aware of. This is a convoluted exam. It's not a straight linear exam. And that is why Unacademy has brought to you these online courses, which I'm calling or referring to as Unacademy Subscription. When you join these classes, you will get daily live classes. Daily live classes, not from one educator. So you're not only getting from me, that since I'll be teaching polity governance and international relations, but you will also get from various educators across the length and breadth of India. You will see chapters and videos and special classes and name it, from all the subjects starting from prelims all the way till optionals. All these courses will be daily live classes. You can have unlimited number of doubt sessions, unlimited number of discussions. You will have structured courses which will ensure that the examination, you are studying for a particular examination, your preparation is not haywire. There will be exam-centric live tests and quizzes, and you will have unlimited access. Especially for those whom I am making this video today, that is the working professionals, this will be of great help to you because you can download these videos and you can watch them whenever it is convenient and whenever you have time available. You will have the top educators from all across India teaching you. You will have special classes which will be dealing with special topics which are contemporary or current affairs related. You will have many courses coming up again. Time and time again, we will bring up new courses so that you are always abreast with what is required for this examination. All this and much more will be available to you at a very reasonable price. All my friends who are appearing for this exam in 2020, that is 31st May 2020, the time is just ripe right now. Take this decision. You should opt for a 1-year course which is available for merely 40,000 rupees. Also, in addition, use this code SID10 SID10 sit 10 and you will get an immediate 10% discount, and the course will be available to you at 36,000 rupees. Those of my friends who are taking this exam in 2021 or later, 22 or 23 also, you have huge amount of time at your disposal. You have 2 years or more. I would suggest you should take a 24-month course, since it will give you a rock solid preparation chance. This is for merely 48,000 rupees, but you use the code SID10 SID10 and you will get this at a 10% discount of merely 43,200. So do the maths. 1 year course is for 36,000, 2 year course is for 43,200. You do the maths, it's only a difference of 7,000 rupees, and you can be in a very strong position for your exam. Take a wise decision, my friends. It's your career. We are there to support you. Now, coming to today's video, what is so different about working professionals? Why was I constrained to make this video for working professionals? There are certain challenges which a college going student, or there are certain challenges which a person who has already taken the so-called break, or 1 year sabbatical, 2 years sabbatical to prepare for this exam, is never going to face. Number one is workplace. Anybody who has worked, or at least has seen his parents or his brothers or his sisters or his friends working, they will realize that workplace is a challenging environment in itself. There are n number of problems and there are n number of issues which comes from a workplace. You have to reach that on time. There are n number of responsibilities. The work, your boss, your team is not going to give you any kind of leniency, any kind of slack on the basis that, sir, I'm preparing for this exam. They don't care. They're paying you a salary. You are earning out of that. You need to work. You need to deliver the job. Even if you're a professional, you have a client, you have a service to be delivered, they are not going to cut you any slack for this part. You will have to work. And that itself takes a huge pressure on you. It is a huge pressure. It is a huge burden. In fact, it takes the better part of our day, and it takes almost the entire mental capacity. And that is why people, when they come back from work, they actually don't fall asleep, they die asleep. They are practically finished. But as a working professional and as a civil service aspirant, after this workplace pressure, you have to take the biggest pressure, or a bigger pressure. The pressure that is of understanding the toughest exam in the world, or cracking the toughest exam. Then there are money issues. Yes, there are money issues. Why? If you're a working professional, I'm sure that you are taking responsibility of someone in your family or the entire family. You have to have some salary coming for yourself, some salary for expenditure. Everything is earmarked. And when you start earning, something happens. When you start earning, that money starts getting a place to be invested. In other words, you start earmarking that money. In other words, a dependency is created on the salary or the income that you are earning. And that is why you cannot just say zero to that. Why? Because now you have taken certain liabilities based upon the salary or the money that you are earning. So those money issues are always hanging very strong on your head, that, my God, we have to earn. And therefore, this also is a huge pressure. The third is office politics. Any area where two or more than two people come together, politics starts. Who is rising, who is not doing his job, who is doing his job, who is closer to the boss, who is closer to the management, who is a happy-go-lucky person, who is very serious, and so on and so forth. Groupisms functioning, factions started. That also takes a toll on your mind. A very important, especially if you're working in cities, in big cities, travel takes a huge amount of our physical time as well as our mental time. The mental piece is gone. Normally, for example, in Delhi, if I have to reach the Supreme Court, it's about 1 hour from my house. 1 hour going and 1 hour, in fact 1.5 hours coming back in case it is the office hours. 2.5 hours every day. Just look at it. If you do it for 365 days and if you do it for 10 years, it is like a huge chunk of man hours which are wasted. And not only they are time hours which are wasted, it is also very physically and mentally taxing. And last but not the least, although the dearest and the most beautiful thing a person can get is family, but family also requires some kind of time devotion, physical devotion, mental devotion. You have to invest time. They need you. The world is not going to wait, my friends. The world is not going to come to a halt saying, thinking that you are having an exam. No, you have a responsibility towards your family. If they need you, you have to be there. And it is in both the things. In celebrations also, you have to attend festivals, you have to attend marriages. Everything has to be done. Life has to be balanced, but these are huge challenges. It is taking a toll on your time, and time is the non-renewable resource which will ensure that you pass this exam. So what is important is that these challenges have to be kept on the back of your mind. And if I look at these challenges right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if I think about this very, very seriously, it feels, oh God, after so many challenges, I will not be able to pass this exam. Many of you must be thinking like this, right? Yes, these are huge challenges. I will not be able to manage this exam in comparison to a student or in comparison to an aspirant who has 24 hours at his disposal. No. And I repeat it, no. Write it on the walls of your house. No, this is a wrong thing. In fact, what I have seen is a beautiful, I believe in one faith. It says, work always expands to fill the time that is available for it. I'm repeating, work always expands to fill up the time available for it. This is the problem with those students who are actually having 24 hours at their disposal. They become complacent, they become lenient. You do not need to become lenient. You have less time. Just recognize that these are your challenges and then go for it. Life is easy. Why? Because there are certain advantages. People who have 24/7, 365 days of the year to prepare for this, and they are only and only doing study, they suffer from another problem. There is always a problem. There is no solution. There is a problem upon a problem. You have to resolve the problem. Those students who are preparing for this exam 24/7, they start suffering from monotony. You will never have monotony. You will never have monotony because you have office to look after, you have a different work. For this, you will never suffer the so-called boredom syndrome. You will never have boredom syndrome. You will not have monotony. Another important line that I have always seen and I've always quoted to my friends is, for civil service examination, intelligence is a must, but only intelligence is not a must. I'm repeating this part. This exam is not only for intelligent people. This exam is for wise people. Wisdom or wise people become wise because of exposure to a variety of people. So when you are going for office hours, or when you're working out, or when you're working outside your home, or when you're meeting 100 different types of people, you're meeting challenges, you're meeting boss, and you are meeting all kinds of challenges, good, bad, or ugly, I don't care. It gives you a separate perspective, a very different perspective of life, which is unlike, or which is practically improbable, if you start thinking in terms of those students who are every day going to a coaching institute, coming back to their PG, going to a coaching institute, coming back to their PG. They are meeting only those students, and they are continuously talking of only civil service examination and nothing more, nothing less. In contrast, you will be exposed to variety of people who will be discussing, probably, let's take a comparison of polity or governance. People will be talking in a very different perspective in your offices. They will be talking about what is Narendra Modi doing, what is the parliament doing, how is it affecting the business, and in very realistic terms. It gives you a very different perspective, and your brain starts making connections. I have always said this: civil service examination is not based only on facts, it is based on making connections. These connections will be there. Why? Because you will be exposed to a variety. So instead of becoming glum about it, in fact, smile. Why? Because you have a huge advantage. Yes, there are challenges, but there are certain huge advantages, and these are very pertinent advantages with regards to your civil service examination system. However, you don't have to sit idle. You have to tweak the system. Yes, The system per se, if I look at it linearly, it is not in your favor. But if you tweak the system and adjust accordingly, it will give you huge advantage. When you are going for the job, don't look at only it as a job. When you are looking at every hour of the day, don't look at as it's just merely an hour. I just have to spend till 6 p.m. and come back. No, don't miss the forest for the trees. Okay, this is what I'm saying. You know, this is only a small resting period. Don't make that work your life, because you have already aimed for something far bigger. You have already aimed to become an IAS officer. This is only a small resting spot. Your destination is far ahead. So tweak the system. How will you tweak the system? First of all, save time. So where will we save time from? You just told there are so much of pressures on our time. Then how will we save time? One very important point that most of us notice or do not, in fact fail to notice, is that we unbelievable amount of time are we wasting for small things in our life. We don't even realize this. If we put a camera on ourselves, just if there's an experiment, if we put a camera on ourselves which is 24/7 on us, then we will realize and we will actually start crying at the amount of time that we are wasting for no good reason. And when I'm saying wasting, it could be in terms of sleep, it could be in terms of travel time, in gossiping, in daydreaming, and overthinking. I am not asking you not to sleep, please make no mistake about it. But when I am saying sleep, am not expecting you to sleep for 12 hours a day. There are people who would say, sir, I work from Monday to Saturday and I have only one holiday. Let me sleep till the wee hours of the day and make sure that I am rested for the next day. My friends, you are in the wrong business now. Because if Sunday comes and it is your leisure day, then you are in trouble. Why? Because Sunday is that day, or your holiday would be that day when you can make up for the wasted time or make up for all the time that you have spent in the office. If you don't have the stamina to do that and if you don't have the will to do that, you are in the wrong business. You must save time. Having said so, I'm never in the favor of sleeping for 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. It's not done. Sleep for 8 hours. That is important physiological requirement of the body, but ensure that you sleep the same time and wake up at the same time even on your non-working days. It will give you a huge advantage. While you are traveling, can you, if possible, can we have a driver? If we cannot afford that, can we use public transport? Yes. So why would you suggest us to use public transport? Because you driving yourself snatches or steals out of you about 2.5 hours a day. Why not have a driver? If you cannot afford a driver, why not use a public transport, use a cab, so that during this time you can watch videos, you can read something, you can at least read the newspaper, you can watch videos on Unacademy or YouTube or any of these methods, so that those 1.5 hours in the morning and 1.5 hours in the evening, 3 hours a day, it's 90 hours. It is 90 hours in a month multiplied by 12. It will give you about 1080 hours. 1080 hours is practically 40 to 50 days. That is approximately 2 months. Do you realize that merely a small tweak in your system can give you an advantageous 2 months of preparation? We always ignore the leaking tap. Yes, my friends, we always ignore the leaking tap. We look at the huge wastage of water, we look at floods, we forget that a tap which is leaking one drop of water every moment is also a huge volume of water. In the same way, this travel, gossip, daydreaming, overthinking are nothing else but leakages. You don't even realize the pain, and so much of time is wasted. If you do not have the willpower and you are not resourceful and you are not intelligent and you are not aware of this leakage of time, you are making a huge mistake. Because as I said, time is the only non-renewable resource that is required for passing this exam. This is very crucial. Please remember, my friends, dreams matter. Dreams really matter. Dreams are the ones which are going to ensure that you reach out to the highest possible level of your potential, but you have to work for it, and work for it not in a lazy and casual manner. You have to fill 60 seconds in a minute, 60 seconds worth of a time. There's a very beautiful poem by Rudyard Kipling. It's called If. It says, if you are able to fill up the entire minute by 60 seconds of run, then that is work, my friends. That is work. Work is not that casual way in which you are going out, and the time spends, the time has to be well spent. The time has to be fully spent. This will give you an advantage like none else. You must plan in detail. Sit down today after you watch this video. Make a plan according to your own requirement, according to your commitment, in details. When I say plan, then every detail, like the army makes what are called as standard operating procedures. Every word, every step, which soldier is standing where with what gun, which angle are we covering, which angle are we leaving, etc., etc. Every point is covered by the Indian Army when they are doing a military operation. In the same way, do a military operation on your life. Plan in detail, then tweak the plan. In case while you are executing that plan, you see that this is not working, tweak it. But after you have consolidated the plan, execute it. Work on your toes. Run, run. Be energetic, be enthusiastic. This is not the exam for the weak-hearted. This is certainly not the exam for weak person physically. You have to do it. Use technology. Technology always gives advantage, but you have to use it. Don't misuse it. Instead of going on Facebook and Twitter and Instas and TikToks and whatnots, don't concentrate on that. Why don't you go on YouTube videos and look at all those videos? There are so much matter. Even on Unacademy, we have shared with you so much of matter. Watch them, listen to that, join us on our courses. It's very, very crucial. Even while you're traveling, you can see these videos. It's very important. It will give you an advantage. Read newspapers every day as if your life is dependent on it. The moment you start reading newspapers as a matter of habit, you will not even realize how much advantage and how much matter have you already collected. So when you start connecting it to your subject, things will come automatically. The idea is, do you have the willpower to do it? Do you have the intent of passing this exam? Then finally, you should have a support structure. Yes, after doing all this also, many a times doubts will come. You will get tired, you will get scared, you will be thinking, is it worth it, and so on and so forth. Talk to a colleague. That may be a colleague, he may be a support structure in the office where you are spending the better half of your day. Make sure that you have someone. In case you don't find it, find a friend. He could be your boss, he could be a senior, he could be a teacher, he could be your parents, it could be speak to anyone. Don't try and venture out in this journey alone. It is a very lonely journey. It's a convoluted journey. Make your friends. Make your friends in any relationship. It could be your wife, it could be your friends, it could be anyone. Wife, husband, brother, sister, teachers. I need everyone who could support me right now, because you are going to go through the toughest time. This is going to be living hell. But the reward at the end of it is going to be beautiful, my friends. One final thing I have always believed, and this is very important, you people are lucky. Why? There have been working professionals who have taken civil service examination for the longest time. But things have changed now. Things have changed. When people were appearing for this exam, say about 10 years ago, they were working and they did not have any advantage. Today, you have an advantage. The advantage of online world. Make use of it. Online world is that huge development that has made actually a disadvantageous situation which working professionals had into an advantageous situation, because you will have all the advantages of the variety of exposure and so on and so forth. Alongside, you have online support. This is very, very, very important. All it takes is everything. Give yourself completely into it. I am telling you, you will make it through. We are there for supporting you by at every step. If you want to join us on Unacademy Subscription. I've already shared the details with you. Life is yours. Take a wise decision. Until next time, God bless. Thank you and In the words of Unacademy, let's crack it. Thank you.